Terrell Turner, the host of the Business Talk Library, and today I have another great business owner on. And this is the type of business that most people don't really think about the business behind what she does. I mean, it's a very regular part of all of our lives, but most people don't necessarily think about the business behind it. So, welcome to the show, Dr. Alyssa Sprowl.
Hi.
Well, thank you for coming on.
I feel like it's someone clapping.
And I can tell we're going to have fun with this interview, so I'm excited about it. So now, before we jump into talking about, your dental practice, tell us a little bit about, your background before, you started the practice.
Okay. Well, my name is Dr. Alyssa Sprowl. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I was raised in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I went to school for a long time. I went to Hampton University for undergrad, and then I decided to go to dental school, and I went to the wonderful Meharry Medical College in Nashville, Tennessee. I actually did a 1-year residency at the VA hospital in Washington, D.C., and I decided, hey, I think orthodontics is my passion. I think I'm serious now. I'm ready to do it. So I applied, and I actually was accepted into a great program at University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I attended there. So I did about 12 years of school, long time. Wow. After I finished there, I actually practiced in Cleveland, Ohio for 3.5 years. And now I am practicing in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Awesome. Now, did you always know that you wanted to go the route of having your own dental practice, or did you want to work for another established firm?
Actually, the most I thought about it was I'll probably buy into or purchase from someone else who's already done all the hard work. An established practice. If I ever wanted to buy, I guess I was one of those that was fine with practicing and being okay with just practicing, which is no issue there. There's plenty of people who do it and they love it just the same.
Gotcha. So what gave you kind of that itch or that nudge to say, you know what, I want to go the route of establishing my own practice?
So what happens over time is you're in someone else's dream, which is wonderful because they've allowed you the opportunity to grow and to learn and to bask in their knowledge. What happens after a while, though, is you start kind of wanting to do things just a little bit different, the way that you would do things. And there's nothing wrong with the way they do it. You just want to do it your way. And so I started kind of having the thought, and then I said, okay, let me see what's out there. And then it just kind of ballooned and blossomed to this wonderful office that I have now. So I'm not the typical dentist that says, like, I knew I always wanted to be a dentist. I knew I always wanted to own an office. I am the complete opposite. I didn't even decide to open a practice until about 3 to 4 years ago. I just wasn't sure when or how or why. The thought came about 3 to 4 years ago.
Gotcha. Now, what has that journey been like, developing your own practice of learning the business of dentistry?
The business side is interesting because when you're an associate, you went to school a long time to learn how to treat patients. And so to treat patients along with collecting the funds is interesting, and making sure that you do the collections and the billing and the hiring and the firing. All of those things that come into what you see every day that runs a business is something that is self-taught, and you have to be able to go through experiences in order to learn from them. Sometimes it costs you money, sometimes it costs you staff, sometimes it costs you happiness, but you're still learning. Long as you're learning, you're going to always keep growing, and that's the kind of the name of the game.
Gotcha. So as you kind of navigated that, what was like one challenge that you faced that it was like, hey, I never really thought about this until it happened?
Oh gosh, what day of the week is it? I'm just playing. Gosh. So as a clinician, you have a certain type, as a clinician, you have certain obstacles that you're going to face. As an orthodontist, I'm straightening teeth, I'm fixing bites, but I'm improving people's smiles and their experience and their self-confidence. as the business owner part, there's plenty of mistakes that are made, balls are dropped. When we first started, we were manually processing all our payments because we only had like 4 patients, and which are wonderful, and we didn't know. And so as we got bigger, I decided to use a payment system to run my payments, and that was a big glitch. Anytime that you do something new in your business, it's going to be a few hiccups. And so what I don't like is to make mistakes that other people see. I hate that. But I'm human, and we are human, and you have to understand that you have to make mistakes in order to grow. So it's not about the mistake that has happened. It's about how we learn from it. So the mistake was some of the accounts that we transferred over didn't transfer over. So when it was time for the payments to process, they didn't process for whatever reason. I don't know, Mother Nature, who knows? And so we have patients coming in, and they're like, I don't think my payment drafted this month. And I'm like, what? So you learn from it. You can't be mad at it. And it wasn't a whole bunch. I don't want you guys to think I'm unprofessional, because I'm very professional. I'm very fair, and I right my wrongs very quickly. Because again, I don't like to make mistakes, especially in front of people, but also it's all about the experience and learning and growing. And you can't learn and grow if it's everyone else's fault. So we corrected the issue like immediately, and we came up with a system. And that's the most important part about business, is creating systems. And so when you have something new, you have to figure out the system of it before you can create the system in the office. So those little glitches that we had, now we have no issue. We have a whole system going. So it's like clockwork now. It's nothing that I have to, I mean, I always got my eye on everything, but it's not something I have to worry about in the back of my head and constantly keep checking, which is great. And that we just started that like 2 months ago. That's probably the biggest glitch we've had in the last 3 months. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. And, and
that's great. Yeah, that's great.
I will say that is a common one, because even from, my background is accounting and finance, from working with, Fortune 500 companies like General Electric and like 15 plus $1 billion companies, whenever they would transition a system, that was a common issue that we had. That were some
Stop making me feel good.
So that's a very common thing.
But we've had issues. I mean, we've had, if anything you could think of, like when you first buy a house, is the same when you first start a business, especially a brand new business. We've had leaks. We've had AC go out. We've had the power go out. We've had computers not work. We've had it all. It's just like buying a house and you're trying to figure it out. But the goal is to figure it out. So,
gotcha. And
not let it ruin your day. Like, you gotta move on. So,
awesome.
But you try to make me feel good about those Fortune 500. I'm like, well, if they make it, then I can.
One of the things that I really like, because I came across your business on Instagram, is you're doing great work of sharing the story and, like I said, sharing content about your business, the marketing side of it. What's some of the feedback that customers have after they've come to you to get service from your dentist office?
A lot of times we'll hear like, I love it here. And what's great is it's great that we hear it from the parent, but we hear it from the kid. And like, we didn't ask the kid. We didn't like try to, give the kid candy to say it. He just said it. It was like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, I just love it here. And we're like, why do you love it? And he goes on to say like why he love it. And he's looking around and he's like, I just love it here. And I was like, oh, that was so genuine. I think what kind of sets my practice apart a little bit is that we're very genuine. They can tell that we're passionate about what we do, and it exudes off. We don't bribe you for it. We don't like kill you with kindness for it. We're just naturally who we are. Very bubbly, inviting office. And it makes you feel at home. And that's the the dream that I had about it, which is great.
Awesome, awesome. Now, a lot of people feel like they know what a dentist, the services that a dentist's office provides. So, what are the services that customers get when they come to your dentist's office?
Besides great experience and customer service, we offer Invisalign. We also offer traditional braces, clear braces, and Invisalign. We also offer at-home whitening kits for our patients with customized whitening trays. We do make mouth guards, and we also make night guards, which is very important as well. Besides taking x-rays, letting you know what we see and don't see, we work very closely with general dentists. So if we see a cavity, we see, you need a really deep cleaning, anything that we see that's out of the norm, I will definitely let you know that as well and refer you to some great dentists who are going to take good care of you as well.
Awesome, awesome. Now, where can people find you online, and where can they find you on social media?
So online, our website is www.myalistsmiles.com. And then on social media, Facebook, we are A-List Smiles Orthodontics. And on Instagram, we are A_list smiles.
Nice.
Very simple. Yeah.
So before we wrap up, one question that I like to ask every guest that comes on is, when you think about, your journey as an entrepreneur and building up and running and leading this business, what are 2 lessons that you have learned that you think other entrepreneurs should embrace and learn as well?
The first one I would say is to be a good listener. Because whether the person is in your craft or not, they're going to give you an opinion that you may not have even thought of, because you're in a different mind frame versus that person that's looking out, looking in, if that makes sense. So they're kind of sitting here, but I'm in it, and you kind of have to value everyone's opinion. You don't have to listen. You don't have to necessarily, you got to listen, but you don't have to do what they exactly say, but at least take to mind, just to some degree, their opinion, because they're thinking from a different level than you are. And I will say, as a business owner, because you want to do it your way, that's kind of hard sometimes, because you're like, no, that's not the vision I had. But the vision you had, maybe this is growing into a different kind of vision. Or you may have thought the vision was to go ABC, but it's actually to go CBA for you. And sometimes you just have to go with the flow and follow the current of the water. And that's kind of hard sometimes. The other thing I would always recommend is to make sure, honestly, it's a hustle. And you got to be ready for that hustle. You have to definitely dedicate your time, your energy, your thoughts, your prayers to a large degree to your baby. This is my baby. And when you look at my phone, it's literally my baby. You see all kind of pictures, all kind of videos. You see all kind of things on my phone. Before, it used to be my dogs. It used to be vacations. It used to be, but this is my baby. And your baby cries. When no one else hears it, you hear it. You know in the back of your head, there's so many things that you should be doing to help your business grow. And it's gonna wear on you a little bit, but it's okay. It's normal. And what I'm learning is that you make your to-do list and you do the best that you can every day. Don't say that's good enough. It's not good enough. If you want to be just good enough, you probably shouldn't be a business owner, because you want to be the best. You want to be the best. You gotta give everything that you give to it. And for me, how I feel when I come to work, it's like a marathon, and I'm running that marathon. And literally, I see that white line that says finish line, and it moves back just a little bit every day. If that makes sense. And I'm chasing that finish line. And like, people are happy about Fridays. And my Friday is, we finish early. We finish at 1. They finish at 1. I'm happy because that's my time to work on my business and do the things that I wasn't able to do during the week. It sounds corny, but it is. It's my happy time. So I would just say trust the process and enjoy it, because at times you're not going to. It's just the God to honest truth. But long as you know that at the end of the day, you're doing what you love, the good days are going to outweigh the bad days. All those days that you are working hard, chasing that pavement, you get that one great compliment for the day, I mean, it turns your whole day around. And those are the things that you have to hold on to keep you pushing, keep you running. And I always like to say, chasing the rock, pushing the rock forward. And those are the things that helps me keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Sprowl, for coming on to talk about your business, your journey, and share your wisdom. Definitely appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and I wish you the best of luck with your business as well.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business Talk Library. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more, be sure to click the subscribe button and follow us on all social media platforms as the Business Talk Library.